Welcome back, my YouTube family. All right, today we're going to talk about, and we got my notes with me, about RVs versus trailers. Which one is good for you? Now I'm going to give you some pros and cons when it comes to a A-class or C-class when it comes versus a trailer. Now I have a class. Now let me just first start with the pros and cons on an A class, and I wrote them down so I have to look at it. So off the top of my head, I remember. Now the A class is good because everything is internal to one. If it rains, you don't have to try to get out of your truck into the A class. Everything, you never have to go anywhere. Everything's in one. So that is a plus to an A class. A con to the A class on the other end is because everything is together, when you hook up, you're stuck unless you decide to tow a vehicle behind, because you're connecting your A class up and you got all your sewer, your electric and everything connected. So you decide you want to go out and explore the area you're in. If you didn't tow a vehicle, now you have to rent a vehicle, or you got to ride your bike, or you got to walk. That is for me, that is a con to an A class. Now, let me give you another pro to the A class. A class versus maybe a C class and everything, it is much bigger. Everything is in one. The space in an A class versus a C class is beautiful, and also they come in so many different sizes, and you're only worried about one vehicle. That is a plus to an A class. But let me give you some of the ones that when a lot of people end up doing is towing their vehicle. That still can be a plus to a certain extent with towing a vehicle when it comes to A class, because and I'll probably show a couple of pictures, a lot of people with their A class, they end up towing a vehicle. Now, whether they tow it with the 4 wheels down, the 2 wheels up, or a whole trailer, it is so many different configurations. So even when I'm saying it's a plus and a minus to A classes versus trailers, you have to find out which one suits you. Now, I love my vehicle. My Fuchsia's Freedom Trevor, I love my vehicle. The only problem I'm having with is also about towing, and once I'm hooked up, I'm kind of stuck in place. So I'm still pondering whether I want to start. And sorry if you see me packed, because it is hot out here. I am in Florida, Orlando, Florida, loving the weather, but it is humid. So the only problem I'm seeing right now is I don't really want to get into towing, but if I don't tow where I'm at, especially if I'm staying for a long period of time, I end up renting a vehicle, which can be costly. Towing, for me, another minus to towing is it is a lot of hookup when it comes to towing. You have the braking systems, and you got to make sure you got to get your car wired so it can tow, so the braking signals and all that stuff is happening as you're braking in the RV. So it's a lot of mechanical stuff that I personally don't want to deal with, but like I said, I'm still pondering whether I want to go that way or not. But let's also talk about the trailer now. The trailer also has its pros and cons to them. They come in many different sizes, just like the A classes. The trailer, you have to have a truck or a vehicle. Let's just not say a truck. I see most, and I'm gonna say 99% of the time, when I see a trailer being towed by a truck, because a truck needs to be able to handle those, because those trailers come very big, just like A classes. So with a trailer, you have to have a separate vehicle. But let me give you a plus to that. Once you settle down and get everything hooked up, you disconnect that truck, you're out and about and do whatever you want. That is a plus to having a trailer. Trailer, again, comes in so many different sizes, but it's the beauty of laying your stuff down and saying, boop, disconnect, and you're off and about, and you don't even have to rent a vehicle because you have your own vehicle. And I have even seen people who have trailers that are having a truck pull the trailer in the back. Sometimes they're pushing, they're towing their bikes, their motorcycles. People bring everything with them. So this was just short me to try to tell you some of the pros and cons and everything around A-classes and trailers. But again, it's whatever suits you, whether it's good for you or not. Right now, I love my my Fuchsia Freedom Traveler. Why did I stumble on my vehicle name? I'm so sorry. But if you would ask me if I would do it again, I think I would, even though I love my vehicle. I would probably go with the truck and the trailer. Also, a pro and a con to the truck versus a RV. The price is way different. Trailers are a lot cheaper than RVs because you're not talking about a motor, a vehicle. But again, to have that trailer, you gotta have a truck, which costs you something, right? So that is another thing. But that's your plus and minuses and your pros and your cons of the trailer versus the RV. But again, I always go back to, it's your choice on which one you want to use. But then let me just give you a little bit more, a little bonus to this video. I was looking where if you decide, oh, you know what, I think I want to do an RV, but I don't want to lock in now. Let me enlighten you. You can rent RVs. I'm going to put some information as I talk a little bit about, because I don't know the process of renting a RV, because I didn't go that route, because I knew when I wanted an RV, I was going in all feet. I knew this is what for me, but I have thought a couple years back, I wanted to rent a RV, and there are a couple of companies out there, and I'll put a couple, like I said, I'll add it on here, where you can rent an RV for a week to kind of test out whether RV is for you. And then you could test out so many different sizes, whether it suits you too. So the beauty of renting an RV can be nice for you to test out which RV you want, if you want an RV, because when you get an RV, it's just like a house. It's a mortgage. But try them out if you're not sure and everything. That might be, even if you say, you know what, I want to travel, don't want to go in a hotel or whatever because of you know what. Think about an RV, renting an RV. RV, again, so many different sizes. You can take a family, get a small one, get a pop-up one. You can rent trailers. The only thing I have saw that I did not like around renting some of these RVs that I have seen in some of my passing in different resorts that I do see, you can kind of tell some of the rental RVs because those companies, the paint job is advertising their company. It'll be like 1-800-RV something on the RV. So everyone knows you have a rental RV. I don't like that, but hey, the company got to make money, so I understand why they did it. But that was just me giving you the pros and cons versus RV, A-classes versus trailers, and a little bonus around, you don't know which one you want, you're still undecided, rent one. Rent one for a week. You might say, oh, I like this. But that's where you get to try it without locking it in. So fam, I just want to give you that little bit of information. Hope it helps someone because I'm loving my RV. Yes, I probably would have did a little bit different, but I do not, 100% do not regret my decision. This has been a beautiful decision for me for 2020, and you'll see a video. I think 2020 has been a beautiful year for me. A lot of people say 2020 might have sucked for them, but I always take a spin of positive when it comes to everything. I learned a lot about myself. 2020 enlightened, and I'm telling you, 2020 got 2020 vision now. You know, clarity. This year was a year of clarity. So I have learned a lot. I know how strong I am. I love this year. In 6 months, I went to 6 different states. That's a beautiful thing. Never thought I would be able to travel that much. But 2020 has been a beautiful, minus the lockdown, has been a very beautiful, and I am, thank you universe, remember my favorite saying, thank you thank you, universe. So I love 2020. I want to do much more. It's only July, and I have so much planned for 2020 and beyond. So no one can tell me different. 2020 has been a beautiful year for me. So family, get out there, travel, make 2020 a great year for you. So as I always say, peace, love, and happiness, my family. Oh yeah, my fuzzy friend's back.